Okay, we're going to try something here. Proverbs 18:21. Important to remember. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. Some other translations talk about they that use it. I forget the exact wording, but important thing, we need to watch what we say. You know, sometimes if you're not careful, you can catch yourself saying things that you really wouldn't want to happen. Negative things. I try to remember that. Sometimes you can forget pretty easy if you're not paying attention what comes out of your mouth. So I try to think about what I'm going to say before I let it out of my mouth, because you may have to live with it. Now, I know that it's out of the abundance of the heart the mouth speaks. Sometimes, hopefully, we won't be held accountable for every little thing that we say if we don't really mean it. But I think it'd be better off not to say some of the things in the first place. Like, something bad's going to happen, it's going to happen to me. That's a quote I don't like at all. I always try never to say something like that. They used to have a song on a funny show on Saturday night. It said if it wasn't for bad luck, they wouldn't have any luck at all. And, you know, it's okay to have fun. And kids sometimes, I think, but we got to really be careful about getting used to saying the wrong things on a regular basis. I think that the more you say things, the more it can get engraved into your memory. I don't know, it might grow on you after a while. You don't want to have to live with some of those things. So probably be better off to just, I like a sign I saw one time. It said, make sure that the brain was engaged before engaging your mouth. That's a good idea. It's a witty saying, but it's true. It'd be better to engage our brain before we let our mouth go into gear and start flapping. For one thing, especially if people are around, they're going to hear those things. Sometimes you may not really mean it, and they may not know that. That could have some bad effects. But anyway, just a thought, something to think about. Pretty important, I think. I believe that if you do get something engraved in your heart and it's something you really desire, saying it a lot, I think we need to say it in the proper way. We need to include God in it. We need to fashion it after His purpose in our lives. And that's what I do. I try to remember when I'm praying, there's three things. I try to be thankful. I try to ask for whatever is, at the moment necessary. Lately I've been asking for abundance. Because I believe, as victorious believers, we do qualify for an abundance. I think as long as we don't have bad intentions on what we're going to do with the abundance, we're going to do good things with it. I feel like it's okay. We shouldn't feel guilty about asking for the abundance. But the third thing is God's purpose in my life. So thankfulness, go ahead and ask for your needs to be met, and an abundance. I'm going to add that to it. Could say B, number 2B. And number 3, ask to find God's full purpose in your life. So, life can be fulfilling if we really know what our purpose is. And if we give our will over to God, the Creator, to be able to work out that divine purpose, that's going to be fulfillment. Because when we start coming into that, we start looking back on it saying, hey, wow, I like the way that went. Man, that's really something. That's awesome. Then that's going to be fulfilling. That's going to give us what we want in life as far as that feeling that we have, everything is in balance in our life. And that's something I think is really important, because, this life, it's not real long. I'm already 61. And I tell you what, when I was about 11 or 12 years old, I had a lawn business. I call it that. Really, I just had an agreement with different people, and I cut their yard. And they pay me. So, this sounds better to say I had a lawn business. But I was just a kid. And, Yeah, I always wanted to fulfill God's purpose in my life, whatever it was. So, yeah, it's good to remember that. When you're praying, be thankful. Ask for your needs to be met. And it's okay to ask for an abundance, assuming that you're not going to do anything bad with it. And number 3, what I said a while ago, got to find God's purpose in our life and ask Him to help us to hear Him and to comprehend what He's showing us, and empower us to cooperate with it and go along with it and fulfill it. I think that's pretty important, and I think I'll end on that. So, pretty hot here in Texas today. Hope you guys are having a blessed day. We'll catch you on the next one.